So I'm getting, the impression that I'm getting is that when you decided to volunteer, you are not just doing it as a by the way.
Yes.
You are very intentional. You decided, because I don't understand why, because I'm trying to imagine now, a typical person volunteering, you're just keen at, getting at your targets, but you went over and above and you did like 3 times to even, becoming among the top 10 amongst 100. But now we are curious to know, so now, after Unilever 4 months, there is now Sharon who has actually transitioned to Mr. Green. And after that Mr. Green, an opportunity avails itself at the organization you are interning, and they called you back. So we would like to understand, how was that transition, and how would you say from that experience up to now, how has your career journey been like? Take us through how your career journey has been ever since that time you did the internship at Unilever as your first experience in the job.
So going back, I went back to now sales. I was a territory manager, basically managing their sales and the distribution of the products in the different locations that you're in, and it was actually a management role where you're actually managing teams. So from there, I think one of the things that actually even made me stand out in my interviews was the fact that I had a history of volunteering. So they already had a track record of what Sharon can do in an event where she's not being paid. So the question came, how much can she do when she's being paid? And then even doing my internship, and I mentioned there was a project we did with regards to plastic. Mm-hmm. So that also, there was another place where they could reference from. They could be able to understand a little bit about Sharon. And then now even moving to Mr. Green, it speaks volumes when you actually get to work in a project as an intern, and once you're done with the internship, a company is still open to retaining you. So that really helped me transition into the job market, into being a manager, because I mentioned I just graduated in 2017, but you see the company was confident enough to give me an opportunity to manage their sales in the 3rd largest city in Kenya. I was working in Kisumu, and you're managing people who are actually old enough, actually to be your parents, but given your track record, they were confident. They were convinced that you're able to manage the business in this particular area, regardless of your age. So I took up that opportunity in Unilever in Kisumu. I moved, having no background in sales. As I mentioned, my background is in biochemistry, but they were confident, given what they'd seen, I'm able to do. So I moved to Kisumu, did the role for around 3 years, and after 3 years... so
that was from when to when?
So I moved to Kisumu in 2020 January. 2020 January, so I did the role till 2021.
So that's exactly 2 years after you graduated, you became an area sales manager?
A territory manager.
Territory manager?
Yes.
Wow.
So I did the role, it was 2 years and 8 months to be precise.
Okay.
So I did it, and I must admit it was one of the best things that actually happened in my life. I was in my early 20s, so I was able to really learn a lot on leadership, people management, distribution of FMCG products, more of marketing as well, because I mentioned my background is not in sales, but I am confident of the work that I did in Kisumu, because I was able to, sales is a high pressure job, so it's always a lot of pressure. It keeps you on toes. You're here, you're there. So, but at the end of the day, as a person, you get to really get a lot of develop a lot of skills at a personal space. You get very fast in your decision making. It also helps you learn a lot as a leader. So from there, I think by the second year, I was already interested in wanting more, because I think one of the things that stands out to me as a young person is I owe it to myself to want to move to the next level and even to want to grow. So the thing that always kept me moving, I must say, is I kept on asking myself, in the next 10 years, what next? will this role still be relevant in the job market 10 years from now? Will the skills that I have currently be future fit? I always kept on asking myself, am I future fit for the next decade? Am I future fit? So this question always kept on keeping me on toes, and it intrigued me because I understand already I don't have a background in this industry that I'm in. So I took up a course on data analytics. It was a funded program by, I can't remember the organization. It was a funded program, so I took up a course on data analytics. The same thing also intrigued me. I took up a course on McKinsey that I'm actually still doing it. So I was keen to develop these soft skills that I felt will help me be future fit in the next decade. So from Unilever, I got another opportunity to move to Reckitt. Now from a territory sales manager, I moved to Reckitt as an area sales manager. That was in 2022 February. That's when I moved fully to Reckitt, where now I became an area sales manager.
That has been the journey.
That's pretty much
up until, let's say, now.
Yeah, up until now. So yes, I moved from R&D to projects management to territory, R&D intern to territory manager, and then now 2 years, 8 months. The most intensive 2 years, I must say, maybe in my life. I was able to learn the most. And it was a stepping stone because actually the skills that I learned in that particular role helped me be a more competitive candidate into being an area sales manager. And I must say, I'm actually the first female area sales manager in Reckitt. And I remember even in my interview, the feedback was, we've not interviewed any female candidate for this role. And yeah, so I was very keen to actually want to take up this role. So I was the first female candidate, and now after me, we are 2 ladies now. I've seen there's another lady, but I'm glad that I was the first female actually to be employed in Reckitt, Kenya now as the area sales manager.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thanks.
It's like you've set yourself a pace of now deciding I will be a first of this, starting with the first woman as an area sales manager at Reckitt, and we can't even imagine how many firsts you will be experiencing. And so I'm looking at your journey and I'm asking myself, what are those specific things that as Sharon you decided to do so that to position yourself for you to move up the ladder? What are those things that you deliberately did for you to move up the ladder to becoming an area sales manager of Reckitt?
So I must say, you always, as a young person, you always need to have your purpose and goals, what it is that you want in your life. And I think your goals are actually what make you be the person you are today. I must admit, at some point in my life, it sounds like a cliche, but I can tell you, sometimes I could wake up at 3 and I get concerned. I'm worried about my future. What next? It's something that you're the only person who can resonate with, because when you maybe talk to someone, they'll be wondering, you are actually employed, why are you worried? But if your goals don't actually make you feel disturbed or disrupted, if you get to feel comfortable, then I think that's where the problem starts. So for me, I must say, all the opportunities were given to me. I gave myself a time frame. And the time frame really kept me on toes, because I want to achieve this between here and here. Sometimes it might be it might feel a little bit toxic, but it actually also helps you keep you on check. So it keeps you going. So you want to maybe learn how to program. You want to learn maybe data analytics. You want to learn business analytics, because these are skills that are actually, when you look, as you keep on going, they're skills that are actually becoming very lucrative. So in your space, how do you ensure that you want to be future fit? And for me, in all this, the one question I kept on asking myself is, how am I how is Sharon going to be relevant in the next 10 years from now? Because I don't want to be in a space where the skills that I have will render me redundant in the next few years. So with that, I mentioned I went and did a course on data analytics. My background is in biochemistry. that analytics is not a safe space for me, but I kept on wanting to move to that space. I did a course on McKinsey, basically on a lot of leadership, consultancy, team management. So I went and wanted to learn in that front. I actually even tried to do something on marketing, but the timings are a little bit wrong, but it's something that I would have also wanted to pursue because it was a professional program. So with those, and even learning how to network, because any role that was given to me, I gave it my best. I tried to do it in a way that once I leave, people will actually get to remember that the lady who was here actually did a very good job. And in the industry that I was in, actually word spreads. People get to know about if you're doing a good job, you'll actually get to, your name might be mentioned in a place, a relevant place. So for me, I think the thing that kept me going was, yes, personal drive. I wanted to ensure that I'm future fit. Any role that I was given, I took it up I was very intentional on what I want to achieve and the impact that I want to make in that particular role. And then networking, it's very important, because it is through networking that you get to walk, if we call them corridors of power, or you get your name mentioned in the relevant rooms. So I think those are some of the 3 key things that I say have actually helped me to get to the level that I'm in today.
Fantastic. Wow. I am seeing a lot of proactivity and intentionality in whatever you're doing, and deciding like it's excellence or excellence, nothing else.
Yes. Yes.
And I think it's quite moving and it's quite inspiring. But I'm asking myself, was that journey really smooth? Because I'm trying to imagine, gosh, you're speaking like this fairy goddess. And I'm like, was it that smooth? Is it that easy? I mean, no. Tell us, did you experience challenges?
Definitely. I experienced a lot of challenges. So as a young person, especially if you set these goals for yourself, sometimes you even feel like these goals are they're out of this world. Okay. They actually, you keep on asking yourself, will I really get to achieve them? So at some point, definitely, with wanting more, at some point you feel you've stagnated. As I mentioned, I did a role for 2 years, 8 months. At that point, there's a point where I felt I need to move faster. I want more. So the challenges are there. You'll always get to experience them. A lot of no's. You get to see some opportunities. You feel you're a good candidate for them. You aggressively apply for them. You put your mind, and sweat to them. And at the end of it all, you get to hear no. So several no's along the way. And then even sometimes you get to knock a lot of doors, even opportunities professionally. Sometimes even there are just causes, maybe funding opportunities to maybe get you to do a marketing course or what. You still get a no. But at that point you feel like you are the best candidate, but you get to get a no. So the no's were there. It was not easy. At some point you'll feel like you're stagnating. You want to move faster, but you're not moving as fast as you want. I mentioned you put timelines. So some of these timelines, at that particular point, you'll wake up at 3 and think about, will this really come to play? But the key thing that I learned in all that was I'm the pilot of my life, and I'm the one who's responsible in sailing this ship that I'm in. So I cannot afford to self-sabotage. I cannot afford to not believe in my dreams. I've put up these dreams to myself, and these timelines and these objectives and this goal that I want to achieve in my life. And I'm the only one who knows those goals. And at any point, if a no makes me stop, then what am I doing? I'm actually drowning myself, and it's something that I could not afford to do. I cannot afford to do that in my life. So once a no comes up, if you want to cry, if you want to, you just go back, restructure, rebuild, rebrand, you keep on moving again. So as you say, keep on moving. So all the challenges I experienced, for me, I take them as stepping stones. I see them as a door that was not meant to me, so I move to the next door. But I keep on knocking them till the one that opens. So it's not been easy. Some tears along the way, so a lot of no's, but I kept on moving, and I'm still moving. So
fantastic. I'm hearing a lot of resilience that you had to employ, and deciding not to give up regardless of whatever feedback you get from anyone. And from what you're explaining, it's basically about your transition journey, basically where you want to do, maybe to go to the next level, but then for you, you're not getting there. And I'm curious now, now moving from the aspect of you transitioning and getting no's to now you have the roles. And this role, you've got an area sales manager for, like, you know, one of the world's best companies in that field, arguably. During those times that you're executing your mandate or doing your roles, what are those challenges again that came up out of it? You're young, you know, I mean.
Yeah, so definitely when being given these roles, sometimes you'll get to hear we are millennials, we are fast to dropping the ball when the going gets thicker. But I must say, my journey actually made me appreciate the process, because if I had not gone through what I went through, like transitioning from an intern to project manager to territory manager, there's some key things that I wouldn't have learned. The no's actually even also helped me learn that it's not always what you want that happens. Sometimes the path, actually there's something that you want, but the path is also defined by fate and a lot of things. So I think resilience and determination, and even remaining true to yourself and your purpose. You have a goal and you know you want to move from point A to point B. And for you to move to that point, there are a lot of things you need to learn. So I must say, you cannot be an island. So Hatua Network actually gives us an opportunity to even have mentors who actually guide you in the path. And these are people with vast experience. And these are people whom you can actually put them also as part of your punching bags, in terms when you feel like things are not moving. And not only at tour, because even at a personal space, I still had mentors and even family to go back to. So when the going became very tough, you could always it's allowed. You go down.
That's quite